Okay, so we can set the default theme, but we should be able to switch themes. So that's what we should look at next. Right, so back in VS Code, and we are looking at the app component.html, and as you can see, the header is actually a component. It's a child component of the app component. So what we have to do is we need to go into the child component, and then once we click on the button here, we need to send an event to the parent to say switch or toggle the theme. So that's what we're going to look at. So here we're going to add an event emitter in the child component, and once we click on the button, we'll send an event to the parent. All right, so we're going to start from the header component.html. This is the button. Let's add a click event here. So when we click this, when we click, what do we want to do? We want to call the toggle theme method, and in this method we can actually emit the event. So here we don't actually need any of this. I will get rid of it in a second. Doesn't return anything. And again, we don't need any of these, so we're going to delete them. This child will not do much. All we're going to do is we're going to emit an event to the parent. So let's add an output property, if you like. Well, essentially that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we have output, and what we're going to call that selected. Can't think of a name. So toggle all theme selected. Or what do you say? Switch theme? I don't know. I don't like it. Anyway, I'll change the name in a second, but we want to create a new event emitter. Now be careful where you import this from. So you've seen the first one, that's not what we want. We want to import it from rectangular /core. Just remember to get it from the right place. And what do we want it to be? We don't care. We're not passing anything. So we don't care what type of event emitter this is. Let's bring the importer in. And I really don't like the name, so I'm gonna have to come up with a name. But let's just say we stick to the name, which I'm not going to do. What we're going to do here, once you click on toggle theme, we are going to emit an event, and the parent will be able to deal with this. I think I've got a name, which is actually worse than what we've got. Theme switched. Alright, go for it. Theme switched. That's it. I'm going to stick to it. Please change it because this is awful, but I'll stick to this one. Right, so I've got theme switched, and what I'm going to do is that go back to the parent, and here we have this event theme switched. What method are we going to call when theme switched event is emitted. We're going to actually go for the same name that we have in a class in a child component. So toggle theme. That's essentially what we want to do. So once this sends an event to us, the parent will toggle the theme. Right, so here we're going to have void method. And actually, what we're going to do is when we toggle the theme, we're going to replace the class that we have with a new theme. I'll show you in a second. I think that's actually a good approach. There's several ways to deal with this, but I think this is quite a simple way. So I'll show you the steps in a second. Right, so I will talk through this, but just bear with it, please. So what we're doing is we're setting a new theme, and here we using the existing theme or the initialized theme. If the initialized theme is light theme, what do we want to set it to? We want to set it to dark. Otherwise, set it to light theme. That's a pretty straightforward one. Now, this is the one that if you haven't seen before, essentially what we're doing here is that we're replacing whatever class we have with set. So this could be light or dark, whatever. Whatever that is, we're going to replace it with a new theme, and then set the new theme to the theme. That's essentially it. I can show you what happens when you don't actually set it to the theme. Actually, I'm going to comment that out and show you what happens. So this is a pretty straightforward, I think. We get the event from the child, which is essentially what we've done here. So when you click the button here, we set the we emit the theme switched event. The parent then gets the event, which is handled in the toggle theme method, and here we just switch the themes and replace the class for the body. Let's have a look at this in the browser. Right, so when this is initialized, of course, it's set to the light theme. I'm just going to refresh that quickly so you can see that is the case, unless it's obviously taking too long. Right, so we can see that's the case, and then once we click on this dark mode, it should switch it. Well, that's not quite right here, but we can fix that. But as you can see, it switched it, which is great. But then what happens when I click this again? Nothing happens, and that's because we're not resetting the theme, and that's the problem. So I'll show you. Right, so if you look at line 22, that is the fix. If you don't reset the theme, then it'll always stay. So once you switch to the dark mode, then it stays there because you're not actually resetting it. So when it comes here, it will actually not reset it, and that's the issue there. So once we always reset the theme, the initialized theme, then that will work. It should fix the issue. Right, so dark light mode, we're going to switch to dark, and then back, switch back, which is, I think, is pretty good. Look at something now. If I refresh the page, guess what will happen? Are we going to keep the dark mode because that's what we've set it to, or we're going to end up in the light mode? If you set light mode, then you guessed right. And I hope you know why. In the next video, we are actually going to fix that, and also this ugly thing, we're going to fix it as well. So that's what we're going to do next.
1, 2, 3